Sunday, people across the country took part in a national day of mourning for Sonya Massey. A police deputy shot the Illinois woman in her home earlier this month. The officer is now charged with murder, and the case is renewing calls for justice and police reform. Charlene has the story.
The Justice Department is investigating the death of Sonya Massey, a black woman shot to death in her home by a white sheriff's deputy. It's a case raising questions about the use of deadly police force.
You better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot!
Body cam footage shows the disturbing moment Deputy Sean Grayson shot and killed Sonya Massey. Massey had called 911 after she reported a prowler at her Springfield, Illinois home. Officer Grayson and his partner responded to the call. When deputies told Massey to remove a pot of boiling water from the stove, things quickly escalated.
Away from my husband in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Grayson shot Massey, who was unarmed, in the head. He has since been fired from the Sangamon County Sheriff's Department and arrested for murder and other charges.
My first reaction was anger. Of course, I felt, I was sad. There was, just a lot of hurt on the inside, just because me as a black female living in the black community, seeing this often.
The case highlights troubling behavior in Grayson's past. According to court records, he held 6 different police jobs over the past 4 years. In 2015 and 2016 came 2 DUI misdemeanors, and before that, an Army discharge for misconduct. Given that history, Chicago Police District Councilwoman Elise Edwards joins many others arguing Grayson should not have been allowed in law enforcement.
Even when an officer is sanctioned and found out, they just move around to other places. And then they're able to continue their misbehavior, their bad behavior, their misconduct.
Grayson also failed to activate his body camera until after firing the fatal shots, a violation of the state's Safety, Accountability, Fairness, and Equity Today Act, also known as the Safety Act. Carlton Mayers, Esquire, helped create the legislation, which includes standards for use of police force.
We can see that law enforcement did not utilize the training that is now mandated under state law when it comes to de-escalation, when it comes to crisis intervention techniques, trainings, and even when it comes to, just in general, implicit bias and how you engage with people that have a different lived experience than your own.
Massey struggled with mental health issues, according to family, and during the encounter, police asked if she had taken her medication. Edwards says the rise in these cases points to the need for mental health experts to assist officers during 911 calls.
Why can't we free up their time to actually work on problems that are so urgent that only someone with a gun and badge can handle? So when it is a mental health crisis, we need people who are actually trained.
Meanwhile, the Justice Department is also investigating Massey's murder. Grayson faces 3 counts of first-degree murder, and if convicted, could face 45 years to life in prison. Charlene, CBN News.
On so many levels. Gordon?
The video is absolutely horrific, and you look at it and go, why in the world would you call 911 today if that's going to happen to you, if you're going to be shot and killed in your own kitchen? The very people who have vowed to protect and to serve you are now going to shoot you and somehow claim that they felt threatened by scalding hot water. It makes no sense to me. Here's something that ought to happen after this case, and there needs to be a national database that if you have been tagged and said you can't be a police officer in our department, if there are issues with your military service, if there's issues with your other service, then there ought to be a national database that says you can't be hired in law enforcement. We don't trust you to go into these tense environments. We don't trust you to go into people's homes. We don't trust you that people who are in police custody will actually survive that. We need to have this kind of thing because our very society is at risk. I'm not overclaiming this. When the people start to think that the police are the enemy, we're in trouble. That means there's no cooperation. You don't call when you need help. You end up with lawlessness as a result of that. And then when the police do respond, they've got to respond in force, and they have to have SWAT teams. We've already seen that with SWAT teams showing up to serve arrest warrants for people who are already represented by counsel, already in the court system, and for whatever reason, they're trying to make some kind of odd show of force. America should not be a police state. America should have police officers that we can all trust. And in that trust, we preserve our own society. Right now, we don't have it. And how are we going to get it back? Without some kind of self-policing where the government says, if the police departments won't do this, we'll do this for them.